Hi, everybody. Much of the West End Network. Hope you are all safe and well, my friends. If you're new around here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a bloody good subscribe. We are here, match day morning, Sunday morning, bank holiday weekend. Hope you had a nice day yesterday. Hopefully, we have a nice day today as well. Here's hoping, and hopefully everyone is safe and well today. As I said, we've got Arsenal tonight. Today, 2:00 kickoff. It is 8:30 here. The things I do for you guys, things I do. If that's not warrant of a like or a subscribe, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. Get in the chat how you're feeling about today. I don't know how I'm feeling about today, to be perfectly honest. It's a strange game. It's like every game after the Europa League is like the day after the Lord Mayor's show, I think they call it. It's really strange. Really strange. But yeah, I don't know how I feel. How do you guys feel? Obviously, it's Arsenal. It's a London derby, but I just don't feel. I mean, I was looking at some stats today, and we've dropped points in every one of our games immediately after the Europa League. So the Sevilla game, and we keep dropping points, and I don't know how I feel about today. Part of me wants to just wait for next week, next Thursday, because that's when it all happens, isn't it? Next Thursday. But Arsenal, London derby. Maybe we'll see some of the kids. Who knows? Who knows with whether it's good morning, Kimbo. Someone's jumped to the chat. Someone to talk to. Good morning. Hope you're well, my friend. Morning, Rob. Hope you're well. No breakfast again. Things I do for you guys. Liam's in the house. Good afternoon. Good morning, Liam. Come on. Assume you're in the UK. So what are we thinking about today? What are we thinking? Who do we think is going to play? So obviously Dawson's out. We know that he's suspended. Will they risk Zuma? I'm just going to move my stand a little bit. Will they risk Zuma? I don't think they will. With Thursday in mind, we saw in the Chelsea game where Moyes sort of showed his hand a little bit in terms of prioritising, the Europa League when he had Declan on the bench and Bowen and Antonio. I could see that happening again today, at least. But I just don't know. I mean, Rob's the same. No idea. Will it be time? Will it be time to put some of the kids in? Personally, I mean, I've said it on the channel the other day. I would definitely stick. I would go with a sort of a blended team of second stringers, so to speak, and kids as well. So the likes of, as Kimbo says, the likes of Elise, I'd love to see him give some time. It's very reminiscent of when we played Dinamo Zagreb here at the end of the group stages, where it was like we won the group, we weren't going to lose anything, yada yada yada, and so they thought, okay, we'll whack, the kids in, and we lost the game, but I don't remember being disheartened losing the game. because it was like, oh, look at the generation coming through. You know, the next generation of West Ham players are in. So I think Moisey could do something very clever and rest players, but by playing some of the kids, it'll give that sort of nice sheen to it. Nice sheen. I mean, Elise, I'd like to see coming. I'd love to see Ashby coming and giving a game. We know Fabianski will be in goal. Cresswell, I thought Cresswell had an off game on Thursday. Offish for him, really. But then I wouldn't want to risk. That's the thing. It's like you don't want to risk anyone. But the flip side is also, we're still battling for the European places in the league. If we lose on Thursday, then these are the types of games where we need to be taking points as well. So it's this double-edged sword. I mean, Wolves losing yesterday was a great help for us. They're still only 3 points behind us, and we would have played a game more after today. I think they've lost 3 in a row, Wolves, crazily. So it's a real strange thing. Rob wants Ockerflex. I want Ockerflex. I just went on just to get these guys going because I think the atmosphere is gonna be a bit strange today because of all the stuff on Thursday. It's gonna be a strange atmosphere, I think. But then it's a London derby, isn't it? So you think we'd be up for it. Although looking at the stats, we don't do very well against Arsenal for many. We have a club record. I think it's 33 losses to Arsenal, more than any other team we face. And I think also they said that something like it was so ridiculous. Arsenal in terms of taking points of us at home, so them away from home. I think it was 1-0 victory in 2019, I think it was. That was the exception to the rule. But we scored at every home game in the Premier League this year. We've actually scored in 18 consecutive league games at home. So there's always a goal in us, that's sure. GP's in the house. Good morning to you, GP. What do you think? What do you think? Take a dive and save the boys. Second leg, or go out for the win today? Well, as I said, it's a bit of both. I'm not too sure either way. For me, it's like you go with the boy. If you get a win, it's good momentum. But the chances are, a couple of them could get injured. If they take a knock or whatever, we're up shit creek without a paddle again, isn't it? We know what's happening recently with our luck. Although also it's quite interesting. We lost. I think the amount of games we've lost in the last 7 games is more than we've lost in the previous 14 games. So it definitely is this sort of end of season fatigue now setting in. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm just here like, chatting shit. What do you guys think? Do you think we should go for do you think, take a dive, so to speak, on this game? Because we sort of did that against Chelsea, really, didn't we? And we were very unlucky to not get anything out of that game if we weren't for the last minute sort of penalty. Pete's in the house. Let's hope we all have a good day. Get a draw. I'll take a draw today. We'll definitely take a draw today. Definitely. Because I think... But it's momentum as well, isn't it? It's about having momentum. It's about building something. We don't want to if you get a drubbing today, and it just builds, and it's we need the fans behind us. We need the fans, particularly on Thursday, all on social media, because the players will watch the social media and look at that. So we just want to build some momentum going into Thursday, which is obviously the biggest game in modern history, my modern history. Mix it up today. Don't miss the likes of Zuma, Rice and Souček. Thursday must take it. I totally agree, Kimbo. Totally agree with you. I'd like to see him give Souček a rest, at least. I think he needs a rest more than like that Chelsea game. I think he needed more of a rest than Declan Rice. Because I think Dec's just like got a fantastic sense of fitness, where I thought Souček looked absolutely shattered on Thursday particularly. So I'd give Souček, but that's just the way he runs quite leggy as well. So, morning Rich, hope you're well, my friends. Sharky, Elise, Vlasic and Yarmolenko may well start. Yeah, no, I think all 3. I'd like to see all 3 start. I said I'd like to see Ashby giving a run out as well. Maybe bring on Perkins, you know what I mean, or Dan Chester's, mixed up a bit. I think Nobes might get a game today. Could be his last ever start for West Ham. Possibly. I don't. Well, it depends. We'll see how we are come the Man City game, but we'll see. I think the under-23 shouldn't have to play. They're used to each other. They are indeed. Alese has been training with the first team quite a bit this year in the last few weeks. So I think you might see Alese and Baptiste. I think Baptiste got injured recently. But then if Alese plays and say Ben Johnson plays, two of them play together at 23s quite a lot. In fact, they used to play a back three, and Johnson used to play on the right. I think Alese played more left with Baptiste in the middle. Alese's left-footed as well, so he's always useful to have in terms of maybe playing him left back. Like to see us win. Can't see it happening though. It's always Arsenal, ain't it? We never play well against Arsenal. We never play well against them, do we? At home particularly. I'd try it for the draw, save for the second leg. Graham says playing youngsters. I mean, winning is a good thing, but if we lose with the youngsters, that could cause problems with the youngsters' confidence. It could. That might be one of the reasons why Moisey doesn't throw him in. Maybe. I don't know. But also, I think with that type of thing, you've got a situation where I think if you've already, not the excuse, but you've already got, oh, it's okay. We had a bunch of kids playing today, so it's always like, we've set ourselves up for a fall already. It's frustrating, isn't it? Because I think if they'd played. But as I said before, like many times on the channel, if the way the draws for the for Carabao and FA Cup were, where we had really strong opposition in our opponents, if we'd had an easier draw, so to speak, like the likes of Scunthorpe or Aldershot or someone like that, or Doncaster, no disrespect to those clubs, but you would have seen more of the youngsters play, definitely, that's for sure. It's just frustrating because I think, this is a classic example where this type of game, you throw some kids in, they're already blooded in the side a little bit already, and it's almost like a seamless transition, but it won't be. It'll be a step change as well. What we got here? Longhello, babe. I have no idea. Haven't seen Longhello for a while, to be honest. I think he had a knock as well. I think a few of them had a bit of a knock, to be honest. What we got here? Is that Anton lad laid on the floor in the background? No. Anton's in Bonnie, Scotland. Good morning, False 9. Early birds. Game ain't until 4:30. Long day ahead. Is it 4:30? Is it 4:30? Is the game on 4:30 today? I completely forgot. Is the game on 4:30 today? I don't even know, to be honest. I don't even know what time the game is. Oh dear, well done me. Oh shit, it's 4:30. Oh, I have to tell Mrs. Budden. She'll be so happy. Turned up 2.5 hours early, I think so. Oh dear. Anyway. Silly old Russie B. Why do I think it was 2 o'clock kickoff today? Anyway, classic Budden. Anyway, let's carry on. We'll have a giggle. 4-2-3-1, says Alfie. Fabs, Fredericks, Rice, Alese, Johnson, Noble, Kroll. Yeah, they giggle, aren't you? Okaflex, Vlasic, Benny, and Yama. I could see most of that team happening. Got you. Hello, morning, everyone. Who's bothered about this? I know what you mean, mate. I don't know how. I don't know. It's the thing. It's like I'm not now. I've got another 2.5 hours, and that's what I was going to. So that's good. That's good fun. But apart from that, I know what you mean. I don't know how up I feel for the game. But it's always these games after the Europa League, isn't it? After each of the Europa Leagues, I feel this sort of like, not deflated. That's the wrong word. Not deflated, but it's almost like, oh, I could do without it and just go back into the Premier League. There we go. Oh yeah, could you imagine? What we've got here, Zuma can't play. The man's legs are made of polystyrene. You're totally right. I can't see Zuma. I don't think they'll play. I don't think they'll risk him. I think with Moisey as well. I think Moisey's just got so much. As I said, on that Thursday, on the Chelsea game, he clearly laid his cards out that he was going to play this sort of, he was going to play a weakened side because the priority was going to be the Chelsea, priority was going to be in the league, that type of thing. So I can't see anything like that happening. I can't see him playing a strong side. I just think it's Yeah, I don't see it happening. There'll be definitely changes. There'll be certain players who won't be risked at all. Like you said, I don't think they'll risk Zuma at all. I don't think they'll risk Antonio. Um, I said I'd like Suchek to be given a bit of a rest if he could today. So I think Suchek with a week off will make a huge difference. But there we go. We'd like to see us put a strong team out, indeed, and build momentum for Thursday. We'd all like to see that, I think. But I just can't see it happening. Can't see it happening at all. I just think with Thursday in mind, there's so much. It's just so much behind it that I just can't see it happening at all. I really, really can't. Anton scoring is a good sign. It is. It is. It's good to see him score. But it wasn't a classic goal, really, was it? It wasn't much of a classic goal. In all honesty, it wasn't really much of a classic goal. What we've got here, Defo doesn't feel like a London derby. Yeah, you're totally right. Doesn't feel like a London derby at all, at all. Hello.
How are you?
I'm right. How are you?
I'm good. You've got permission to make video shoots.
No,
in this park.
no, not at all.
This is private property and you need permission.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I'm sorry. Can I do it over the other side then?
No. You
No.
can do if you go to the
Yeah.
next to the stadium.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do that then.
But on the park.
Okay. No, I never knew that. I'm so sorry. Never knew that at all.
For who you made this video?
Just for myself.
For yourself.
Yeah. No worries. Oh, worries. Thank you. Thank you, mate. There we go. Anyway, so we're just moving over into the stadium now. There we go. We live and learn. What have we got here? Anton's in the house. Good morning, Anton. Hope you're well. So I turn up. So I've just realised it's a 4:30 kickoff instead of a 2:30 kickoff, and I've gone to the stadium to make a video. Fair enough. Don't care if Mickey's, but I think with Antonio's goal, for me, Antonio wasn't necessarily for him. It wasn't like it wasn't a classic goal, was it? It wasn't a classic goal. So, but a goal was a goal, innit? Goal was a goal of Antonio. So we'll see what happens. Didn't leave anything there, did I? No. They make you feel so homely, indeed. But anyway, so what we got here? So I'm trying to do it two hands. Should have left. Antonio should have left it for deck. We'll see. Good morning, Mandy. Hope you're well. Hope you're well. They make it feel so. A chocolate. Oh well, it doesn't matter, does it? He's only doing his job. He's doing his job, innit? Tell him to sod off. Oh well, don't matter. Just think to have a job where you go around telling people to stop filming. Yeah, great job. Well, I suppose I'm the only bugger here. So, particularly when you turn up an extra 2.5 hours early for the game, even better. I think it was a 2 o'clock kickoff. Well, actually, it was a 4 o'clock kickoff. Apart from that, good start. Good start for the day. What else we got here? So what are we thinking? What are we thinking in terms of goals, in terms of scores today? I don't know how I feel today in terms of, I don't know whether I felt, I'll take a draw, but realistically, do I think we'll get a draw? I don't know. I don't think so, in all honesty. So you can't film, but you can next to the stadium. Oh well, doesn't matter, does it? Doesn't matter, does it, Pete? What do you think about what crazy lineup will it be? Says Mandy. I don't know. I don't know what crazy lineup it will be. I don't know whether it's going to be. It's got to be a blend. It's got to be a blend. I think particularly with the week. Well, I'm just changing hands. Particularly with the Thursday game in mind, and the fact is we need something. We need to win as well. I can't see them playing anything. I can't see them playing anything apart from a weakened side today. Just can't at all. at all. Right, there we go. There we go, peeps. What time zone do you live in? I live in the UK time zone. Why? There we go. Why don't they give it the old, do you know who I am? Keep it. Oh, I won't. I'm not bothered. He's just doing his job. Doing his job, bless him. Take a break, Rusty. You'll be too knackered to finish the video. It's all go here, mate. It's all go here, that's for sure. You should show us what your work area is like on day inside. Yeah, it's a bit difficult because obviously technically I'm working, so it's hard to do videos or things inside the stadium as and when. It just is. I hate these games where we're not totally up for it. Tyler, I feel exactly the same, man. It's just these games where you just don't feel up for it at all. I don't feel up for it yet. Takes you have to wait another 2.5 hours than I thought it was going to. I have to phone Mrs. Budden up and tell her. Oh dear, looking out the window, that rushes in early. Yeah, I am today. I certainly am, my friends. 2 hours earlier, yeah, exactly. Chelsea was better than expected. You're right, actually. And actually give him some what's the word? Giving some experience or giving some game time to the guys who are more, what's the word? Who are less, I'm trying to think of a nice word. Not second string, I hate that expression. They're not second stringers, but do you know what I mean? May well, if they play well, there could be a couple of places up for grabs for Thursday. Realistically, the team didn't play as a team, play very well. A few individuals didn't play great. Fornals didn't have a fantastic game. Thought Benny came on and made a big difference. Cresswell's crossing wasn't great. Johnson's crossing wasn't great. So you never know with another injury or whatever. Or there could be a couple of places up. Maybe Lanzini had a very effective game. So I think if you play some of these players, who aren't necessarily considered first teamers, then anything's possible. Anything's possible. Lacey Prime provides some excellent. So it does, and I think with Lacey as well, I think he's someone we've been trying to get on the. I mean, he's 21 now, so he should be making some appearances. Particularly, you think with so many injuries and stuff out at the moment, we need someone making these number of appearances, and I feel sorry for him. I feel really frustrated for him. He must be frustrated as well. But now he's more actively training in the first team. We know that, I know there's Kevin Keane's very keen on him. So to speak, say he's definitely going to be he's definitely ready for the step up. So we shall see. Back 5 today again, quite possibly. What's your feeling? The players for Thursday, Russ, the players seem. Well, I mean, you've listened to the post-match interviews. I mean, Antonio was very, very, very adamant that we were going to win. Very adamant. So we shall see. Good, we're in a position to not be bothered at the top of the table. I might have a feeling we might get a result. Be lovely to see, mate. Be lovely to see. I think with something like the result, it shows you how far we've come. That I wasn't particularly bothered. We lost to Tottenham, and the Chelsea game annoyed me, but wasn't like the end of the world. We've had some really tough games after Europe, haven't we? Really tough games. Even Brentford away was a tough game, but we've had some really tough games in terms of the fixtures, and it hasn't necessarily bothered me much, which shows how far we've come this season. As you said, it'd be nice to have picked up something at Spurs. It'd be nice to have got a draw at Chelsea, but it wasn't to be. That was it. He might do a Reece Oxford. He could well and play a blinder. He could do, mate. Russ, what does Russ do for next? Yeah, well, first I've got to phone Mrs. Budden after this and say, so I'll probably back about 7 now rather than 6:30, because I thought the game was at 2, it's at 4, so she's going to shout at me. But there we go. And then I don't know now. Taking on an Arsenal spot with me today. When I took a Wolves, we won. When I took a Chelsea, we won. Let's hope it's an omen. Let's hope so, indeed. We have a big game on Thursday, but this still game matters. Still a big performance today, whoever he plays. You're right. We need it's about the performance, isn't it, really? I mean, even that Chelsea game, we lost, but it was the performance. And people were like, oh, that's a good game. That was, we played all right and we were unlucky not to get anything. That's what we need today, don't we? That's what we need today. I think if we have a situation when we get drubbed, then that's going to put everyone up, make everyone act like a bit, it's a weird feeling, isn't it? I think we're not used to this, and hopefully we'll get used to it. Hopefully we'll get used to this sort of like European hangover. That's what it sort of is, isn't it? It's a European hangover. It frustrates me that we haven't got a strong enough squad to be able to cope. So you've almost got two teams, but until maybe we get to a point where we're playing Europe consistently, you won't have that. You won't have that. So it's chicken egg thing, really, isn't it? In all honesty, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. It was funny watching a fan cam last game against Chelsea. He said, "Who cares? We have bigger fish to fry." Oh, it's mental, isn't it? Count the seats. Might have to count the seats. Yeah, we still need to qualify. 3 more league wins may do it. Yeah, I mean, Wolves are trying their best to give a 7th spot at least, isn't it? At the moment, I don't know how I don't know how it all works, because I suppose that'd be right. I don't know. See if Leicester could theoretically win the conference. How does that affect the Europa League places? Because Leicester would then go into Europe, would win the Europa League and then win the conference and then go into the Europa League. Yeah, it's a strange one, because I don't know how that affects. If it all happens, where does Europe finish? Would it be? I suppose Leicester would be out of the places necessarily. I don't know. There's so many permutations for the rest of the season, but Wolves are doing their best to give a 7th spot at least. Do you think that Harry should play in goal as the future of the club? Do you think that Harry, Rob, Harry, please confirm. I feel like these Europa defeats could have been avoided in Jan. Yeah, we know that. We know that, mate. And it is frustrating, Conan, really, but it's nothing we can do about it now, is there? So we'll just see what happens. And I think it's a learning curve. I never saw, as I said at the beginning of Europe when we started talking about it, I never thought we'd get this far at all. I thought we'd have a couple of games, get the group stages, do all right, and then off we go. But because we got more and more into it, got more and more invested into it, it's become a greater distraction maybe than I think we all thought it would be. In all honesty, massive transfer. It certainly is. Problem is you can't demand big performances all the time. Swings and roundabouts. You're totally right. Wolves lost Semedo. Well, they were shocking yesterday. Absolutely shocking yesterday. If it gets, do we qualify for Europe? No, we've got to win it to definitely qualify, or we can still qualify for the league if we finish in the right spots. But we have to win to qualify for Europe. I think Moyes, he isn't getting it, but he's trying to demand it. Retracting the stance, the minutes only make you stronger now. And they do indeed. Ari isn't Ariola. I got you. Sorry, Rob. What do you think about the rumours of Ario being replaced? Yeah, apparently Tony Cottee sort of let slip. Apparently we've signed an England international goalkeeper. So whether that's Pope or whether that's Johnson, whether TC knows we've done it, I don't know. But it's a bit weird, wasn't it? A bit weird. I think there's going to be a battle for Ariola between us and Fulham, and Burnley aren't looking like they're going down, mate, at all. I think Burnley they're playing well at the moment. As long as it's not Pickford, I don't care. I want Pope. I think Pope did a great job when he came here. Did a great job against us. That's for sure. Hope we do get through, but if we don't, we've done well. Yep, totally, totally. I think it'll still be a great, great season. I mean, obviously finishing. If we finish seventh, that's the first time consecutive top seven finishes ever in our history. That ain't to be sniffed at. We're looking for this next level, this next step, and that should be consistently finishing in a top eight. Consistently qualifying for Europe. If it's the conference, if it's the league, Europa, if it's Champions League, we should be. That's the next level for us. The previous level was us barely scraping in the Premier League and keeping our existence. The next level was maintaining Premier League status, which I think we've got to now. Then the next level is that top eight finish every year, or targeting a top eight finish, good run in the cup, and that, to be honest, I think that's sort of what I think I can expect, really, because you look at how much we spent compared to the likes of United, or say your Cities, Chelsea's, Liverpool's. I mean, Liverpool can buy Diaz. Oh yeah, we're just gonna get him anyway. We'll get him now. There's so much stuff coming up. And it's like I think people don't realise that sometimes, to be honest. Whatever happens, we've done bloody well. Who's other sorts claim Johnson? I bet that bloke comes back moaning again. We'll see. Johnson was done ages ago, most likely. It was always the plan of Rabiot. This summer we need good strikers and defo a good signings and defo another striker. I think. Yeah, I think so. I think that's pretty much written in the stars. Whether we get the strikers next thing. It's all right saying we want a striker. We need this. We need a guy. We need a goal scorer. And Moyes has identified probably 2 or 3 targets who could fit into his way of playing. But it's going to get him, isn't it? It's going to get him, and that's the issue. It's not necessarily the first bit; it's the second bit. It's getting them, And then the second thing is, does that club want to sell us them? There's so many parts to the whole transfer. I think some people falsely assume that we can just say, oh, we want this guy and we'll get him. That never happens, So, because the other club's got to sell, the player needs to come. We've got to invest the money. So there's like 4 or 5 components lined up to make a transfer. Is very complicated, apparently. Because then you have all the contracts, negotiations, and stuff like that. So, Sharky wants Darwin Núñez. I don't necessarily want him. Great player, but would he fit into the Moyes system? I suppose in Moyes we trust. If Moyes goes for him, then I wouldn't. I'd like someone like rather than spend 60, 70 million on Darwin Núñez, I'd probably like to get someone like Origi on a free, or the guy from Union Berlin, Taiwo Arminoni or Arioni, the former Liverpool guy. I'd rather get him and then invest that money, because Darwin is still relatively young. I know he's a great player. Maybe he's a step. Is he a level 2 up for us potentially? It's where someone like a Man City could spend 50 million quid and it doesn't work out. We can't afford to do that. We're not in that situation. So we need to be very sure with how we've worried by, because we can't go out and spend another 50 million quid on another player. So there is a fine balancing act, I think. What about the Conte? Yeah, apparently Conte's after Souček for 40 million. We'll see about that. Similar formation to Chelsea, says Scott. Check on Chef. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Jonathan Davis. When Núñez would probably cost you 60, 70 million. I think Jonathan Davis is probably about 40 million. Say about 40 million, something like that. So then you've got another 20 million pounds to spend on another position. I think that's how we have to look at it. Big part of the fan base will get their knickers in the twist if we don't really not really able to see bigger picture and all. Indeed, Freeman. I think that's why I keep banging on about consistency. Yeah, a top 6 finish, top 7 finish, because I think that's really important. People forget where we've come from, and people keep talking about. 2 years ago, Moyes took over, and we were in outside the relegation by goal difference, and now we're not moaning, but we're disgruntled that we didn't win the first leg of the Europa League semi-final. And I think the trouble is it breeds success, breeds expectation. So for me, when we started the Europa League journey, the chance of winning it I thought was like a 2 out of 10. Now it's an 8 or 7. So naturally my expectations are going up as you go through the competition. So we'll see. Sacco and Song just won their league. Can we get them back? Yeah, they do play in the same team. They do. Also, the players need to be fit in the team. And Moyes will only bring in players that won't disrupt. I like the dressing room. You're totally right. And I think that's really important. We see on paper Darwin Núñez, or we see on paper, I don't know, someone else. Oh, yeah, great. It looks like a great player. We always go on YouTube, watch all the clips, all that type of stuff. But Moyes is very, I know people call him Differing Dave and stuff, but I don't disagree with that idea. I think you want to take your time. You want to make sure you're getting the right players. You want to make sure the balance, the team works, team spirit. That's really important. It's really important, particularly from West Ham. We're not a team. We're not a Galacticos team. We're not a team like Man City, and they can bring in another £60 million player. And we've got to be clever. We have to be clever with our signings. We have to be clever with how they fit in to make sure the sum of the parts are greater than the individuals. It's like a jigsaw. So if you take one piece out, you've got to put a similar shaped piece in. Otherwise, it disrupts. That was originally why I was a little bit worried when we signed Jesse Lingard, because I thought he would disrupt it. But I was totally wrong. I put my hands up to it. Totally wrong because of that. What we got here? Budgie. Good morning to you, Bud. Hope you well. Núñez looks like the next. He does. He does indeed. He does. I mean, he looks like a great player. But it's his mentality, isn't it? You could be a great player, but whether it's on paper and on YouTube, you look a fantastic player. But can you then progress that on in terms of fitting into this West Ham team? West Ham, could you imagine indeed West Ham Galacticos? I'd take some of that. Lingard is a wally, wasted his career. He did. You shut a lot of ex-players' big mouths with what we have done in Europe. Yeah. I mean, I don't think, in all honesty, we've got about 60 or 70 of us in here so far in the broadcast. How many of us thought we'd be in this position? How many definitely thought we were going to be in the final, still playing in Europe in May? I didn't, and I reckon the vast majority of you didn't. Even me, who's the most optimistic West Ham fan in the world, didn't think we'd get through. As I said, I thought we'd get. I didn't think we were going to get through the group stages, to be honest. But the team would just, I thought it was the first time in Europe. Getting used to it, getting used to the games in terms of how it all fits in with the league program, that type of thing. But we did, and it was actually and I think a few other people were same. Yeah, Sean, it's the same. I thought we'd get 10th or 12th with you. Yeah, I thought I did as well. I thought top 10 finish would do me. That's for sure. But yeah. Right, kids, I'm gonna have to scoot. Because I need to go to the toilet. I've got to phone Mrs. Button. But anyway, hope you had a good time. Take care. If you're new around here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a bloody good subscribe, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Take care, my friends. Ta-ta for now. Make sure you keep an eye out on the socials. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button so you know in case. Anton may be up later tonight anyway. So take care, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.